Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back.
It's been a minute. Well, you guys see us every 2 weeks,
Right.
but let's explain why. Because we haven't been, we record in blocks. So we'll record, what, 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever many episodes in
Right.
blocks. So we'll do that months in advance. And then we just release every 2 weeks for you guys. So
Right.
we haven't been physically in the studio
For
in a
months,
minute.
right,
So
right.
yeah, so it feels weird like getting back into it. So this is our first episode recording after not recording for a minute. So bear with us.
Right. We're back. But
Yeah, we're
this
back,
week we're
back.
going to talk about spirituality versus religion, like, and how
Yeah.
those two topics kind of intertwine and don't twine and all that kind of thing. So when you talk about religion, you're talking about more of a structured system with like a deity, that could be whatever you believe in, rituals, going to church, things like that. But when you talk about spirituality, you're talking about a more personal connection with the universe, with
Source,
just
whatever
right.
source you believe
Correct.
it is. It could be. I feel like spirituality could still just be a connection with a deity. It's just not an organized
Correct.
structure of that. It's kind of definitely on a more personal level. You may or may not go to church and still be spiritual.
Right.
So I think the two might intertwine, which I think we're going to talk about
Right.
as well. So at some point, the two might intertwine, and maybe they might come to a impasse, or they may not.
They may overlap.
Yeah,
There's like
yeah,
spaces in between, but
yeah.
for sure. So, do you think that what was your early kind of experience with religion? Because I think we kind of have similar backgrounds, so I can say that what we are now is not what we started at, and we were more religious or practiced more growing up.
Growing up,
Right.
like I think I feel like we probably did cover this at one of the episodes going back. Like my mom, of course, my dad didn't go to church.
Right.
He stepped foot in church, he might bust in the flames. But my mom, she was raised in a Catholic school.
Right.
So she was in and out. And that was like back when she was a kid, that was like staunch Catholic, hard
Right.
Catholic. Like those nuns will beat you and stuff like that.
Wow.
And I think she was like, her and her brother were like one of the only 3 in the whole school. Like they wasn't even letting them in back in, it was St. Columba in Newark.
Right.
And so she was raised in a Catholic church, but my mom, so she went through and did all of the rites of passage for Catholicism.
Okay.
So, but as into adulthood, my mom wasn't a person who was a member of a church. She would, you find my mom in church if somebody was like
With a
getting
ceremony.
married. Yeah, exactly. Get somebody
Okay.
died. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go there or something like that. But my mom wasn't into the church, but she knew things from the Bible. That's only because of what she learned growing up. But she never forced us to go to church. She never made us read the Bible and doing stuff like that. My mom definitely was more spiritual than anything.
Right.
But I did go to church because I had friends who went to church that was like, oh, you want to come to church with us? I'm like, sure. So to me, it was more of a social
Okay.
aspect. I mean, I was a kid. Like,
Right. But also growing up, like we went to Catholic school.
yeah.
So, I mean, you went to Catholic grammar school too?
I went to Catholic grammar school only up to like finished first grade, and then I went to public school from 2nd to 8th, and then I picked up Catholic school again in 9th through 12th.
Okay, yeah,
So,
I went the whole from 1st to 12th grade.
Yeah,
I
so
went to
yours is
Catholic
different.
school. And, in my household, similar to yours, there was a whole, my mother didn't go to church every day, I guess, just because now she's an adult and has her own family, but she grew up in the church, but it was Baptist. So that was kind of what that's the background she had. She didn't instill that on us growing up. We didn't go to church every Sunday, but we did, like you said, go to events or somebody had something. And then when I got older, she definitely got back into church. And
what about your dad? Like, was he?
my dad didn't go. Similar to yours,
Burst in flames.
come into the house of the Lord, and things are gonna go left. But no reflection on the person he was. I just they just didn't They just didn't practice. And I'm
Yeah.
sure that growing up,
They
because he
probably
grew up in the
went
South.
I'm pretty
Right.
sure
He grew up in the South. Right.
They went. They was putting on them little
Them little
them suits and them little
right.
knickerbockers with the hard
high
shoes,
water pants with
looking
the
like
hard
Little
bottom
Rascals.
shoes. Right.
Yeah,
right.
they was sitting up there all greased up. They was sitting up in there on Sunday.
Right. Right.
And that
Right.
probably, I think, also just to touch on that, that's something that's like, sometimes I feel like when you're a kid and you're forced to do that, and you don't, but it's because everyone's doing it, or that's your parents' belief.
Right,
I feel like sometimes as you get older and you able to make those decisions,
Right.
you pull back or you get a little bit lax in it.
Right.
You know
Right.
what I
You don't execute it all the
Yeah.
way through unless you're born in church. I also know people who grew up doing that and they still do it. They still
Yeah,
adapt
I think,
it,
yeah.
and there's nothing wrong with
No,
it.
no, 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 no. It's nothing wrong with it
Right.
at all. But I think it can go either way. I think it depends. Like, again, it's that religion versus spirituality. There could be person when you were in there, you religious, and then you go away and you find your own personal relationship, because
Right.
whatever you're going through, you might find that, you know what, through an experience, this isn't for me. Like,
Right.
it's more of a one-on-one connection.
So
You
at
know.
what point do you feel like maybe that kind of switch for you, like kind of the indoctrination,
I
or you questioned it, like, did you ever question it like while you were in school, or was it more of an adult kind of
You
revelation?
want to know? Here's the funny thing. So, the kids, of course, we were just talking about this, went to Catholic school.
Uh-huh.
Kyle started in kindergarten. Kyla started in second grade, and then she was in pre-K. She started going to the same school that they graduated from. And I remember, I think it was Kyla who asked me this when she was younger. And I think she said she asked the teacher, either Kyla or Mia. One of them said, I asked the teacher, who was if God was Jesus's father, who was God's father?
Okay, that's valid.
I was like, what did the teacher say?
What was the answer? What she had said? What was her answer?
I don't remember.
You don't remember?
And I don't know, if something along the lines of he was just there. But the concept of everyone has a father, how could this person just be there?
Right.
And so that in itself, to me, let me think, whichever kid it was, I can't remember who it was. Kylie, was that you? Or to ask that, or was that you, Mia? I don't know. Neither one of them. They're like, I don't know. That in and of itself let me know that they were thinking, they just weren't taking this information
right
and being, okay, that's what the Bible says.
Right,
that's what it is. They were thinking outside of the box on their own, because I never questioned that.
Right. And I was gonna say that is that,
that.
and not that we didn't have our own minds, but it was just something, you did. If that's what my parents are saying, we're going to church today, that's what we're doing. We didn't question it. We figured that was the right thing. But again, our kids and going beyond us, they're more in tune with the world, and they see things not as black and white. It's like, hey, what's going on with that? I think for me, it wasn't until later in life, after I graduated, that I realized or started to question, like, is there more? And does this all make sense to me? Like, how is this all lining up? Like the stories, and then when you get into college, you take like different courses that show you different religions and how religion has transformed, and how religion, as you know, it got to where it is, and you're like, that's not that don't sound right. That math is not mathing. Like, I don't know what's going on there, but let me do a little digging in that. So do you think you consider yourself more of a religious or a spiritual person? I know the answer to that.
I'm definitely more spiritual than religious. Like, I think there was a point in time from high school. I mean, you in high school. It's like you're in Catholic school. You hear about it. Like, God, Jesus died on the cross for our sins. Like, you hear all that and you see it. And then you see the movies like Passion of Christ, and like you look at all the stuff, you're like,
right.
And then so I think throughout phases in my life, even after high school, then even after college, I can even say like, no, I was not religious. And then I think as I got into adulthood, there was some, I was funny because I went back and I started looking at some of my Facebook posts. That's why I like when those memories pop up. I was, a few years back, it was like I was putting stuff in there, like, like quotes, like had scriptures or something or whatever. Right. And then I think that was probably like, what, 2017, maybe 16, 17 or something around that time.
Right.
And I think it was whatever I was going through at that point, I felt that was what my bridge to solve that problem
was. Right.
But have I ever felt that holy? Like I can stand firm 10 toes down. Like I've seen people do it.
Right.
And I'm like, wow, like, you really have a lot of, like,
you have a religious conviction.
Yes. And I don't ever want to be convicted of anything, but it's just, I definitely say it's more spiritual. And then I know at what point in time I became even more
absolutely
spiritual was 5 years ago.
It all just turned. Well, it all just turned left.
Like even before that happened,
right?
And,
thinking about
June and
things.
September, it was weird once the world shut down. The things that I started to hear and feel and see and sense, and it was just like a light switched.
Right.
Like 5 years ago. So I can definitely say I am more spiritual. I know I'm more spiritual than religious. I couldn't quote a Bible verse for you. Like there's some people that'd be like, I'd be like, what?
I think that I'm more spiritual too. I think that I have a little bit of both. Like you said, we talked about that being spiritual. There's a source, whatever you calling that source. But I think that with religion, some people pick out parts that work for them, and then leave the others behind. Like you have to either be all in or all out. You can't just decide, okay, this is gonna work for me and my people, but the other parts I don't like, or you transform it
to fit your agenda.
To fit your agenda.
That.
Right.
I don't like it.
You're picking out the parts that make sense for you, or they give you a frame of reference to do what you want to do, or to substantiate what you're doing, or whatever evil doing you're trying to do. So
to
it's
justify
like,
it.
Right, to justify.
But I feel like also, and I don't want anyone who watches this video to feel like we're downing.
Right, absolutely not.
Beliefs. We're not. I just feel like because the Bible, if you go back, is certain books that were left out just on purpose. And it's always been anything that people, human beings interpret when you're looking at it, they're interpreting it through their eyes. And then, you're getting these teachings from people who are interpreting it through their eyes. And then you're getting fed this information. Right. And I just feel like you said, like sometimes people use that word. People like, well, the Bible says this and it says that. But, and again, I don't want anyone coming into the comments. I'm going to be as respectful about this as I possibly can. You have people with the poo-pooing of like Charlie Kirk, who was religious. Like he preached the word and he said all these things. But at the same time, you also spewed hate. And I feel like if you really went by the word, you couldn't say that you love God and you do all these things and you want to for the betterment of the people, but there's only certain people that you would want that betterment for.
Right. It's not a one-off situation.
It's everybody's.
The Bible is for everyone.
And like so, I can honestly say that's an issue that I think I have with people who go by the word, but there's a double standard. Like again, it fits your agenda, or people who feel like the Bible thumpers, this, and this, and your way is the wrong way. They condemn other people, like they look down. I don't like that. Like I like cool religious people.
Right.
If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I like cool religious people.
Right. And again, accepting of all things, and not that everything that happens, people have free will, but I mean just don't be inclusive and don't
Yeah.
be exclusive,
Don't be an
because
ass.
you don't right. And
Don't
again,
be an asshole.
that part,
Don't be a religious asshole.
that part. And if you think about it, countries go to war. Like
Yeah,
people are
Yeah.
staunch, and that's
Yeah.
what they believe in.
Yeah.
People are dying for their beliefs. There's wars in countries for
Oh yeah.
centuries.
Oh yeah.
They've been fighting for
yeah.
centuries
Yeah.
for religious beliefs.
Yep.
So religion is a very
It's a touchy subject.
it
and
is.
It is something that will
incite
violence.
right, but it also is a uniting factor as well. I think that and we talked about religion being a kind of you mentioned social earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Church is every Sunday.
Yeah.
That's a time for the community to come together, and there are great things. The communities come together on Sunday. They receive a word. If you think back, that's what we did on Sunday as African American people. We got together and we listened to things to lift us up. So I think that that's still important. If to kind of participate in those things, they have community outreach through churches. They support lots of different funds and scholarships and all that kind of thing. So churches in itself, people get married in churches. They have religious functions, baptisms, all the
happens.
all the great things.
Yeah,
right.
A lot of good things happen in church, and also again, there are a lot of bad things that
happen because of it.
Yeah, like that happened. Well, even within the church itself,
That's
like
true
some
too.
of the leaders, like
That's true too.
Like this, I'm gonna date myself, but remember the Bakers, Tammy Faye Baker.
Yes,
when she was crying on TV.
And her mascara was running.
She had the big like eyelashes and stuff. You weren't crying. Like y'all got caught like with your hand in the cookie jar.
Right.
And it was like that started to put like this doubt when you see things like that. Like people that fall from grace because you're using the church as this means to get rich, but then you're preaching the word to people who are believing you. But then when you have this downfall, you're like, oh, so there are good preachers. There are good heads of churches out there. But at the same time, I feel like there are also ones who aren't, and they have these ill intent. Like, I don't like those people. Of course, I don't like those. I remember my mom telling me the story. Like my grandfather was going to church, and when he stopped going was when he saw like the ushers or whoever it was collecting like the plates and stuff. So in it, you stacking all these plates to have this money. He was watching them like take some of the money, like kind of like put it, and like put it in their pockets and stuff. And he's like, these bastards, and like so that like turned him off completely.
Right, but that's one person, kind of, and he turned your grandfather off. Your grandfather probably didn't take his people, so that had a ripple effect. Along the lines.
But you can also have a bad experience in that does turn you off to that organized structure, because I've seen it, like you've seen it. When you touched on a point when you said it was black people who go to church on Sundays, and a lot of that praying and a lot of that coming together as a community and organized, because we were going through of course we were going through the same struggles. There was racism, this was hate, and this was our place to go and to commune and to
refresh.
Exactly. And then because we know once Monday
comes, it's a whole nother struggle. We needed some fortitude for the week ahead.
Exactly. So you go and you get fed these words, and it's going to carry you. But what I don't like, if you have people who go there and preach and praise God on Sundays, and yes, Sunday you go have your Sunday dinner. Monday you
raising hell
about people, you talking shit, you doing this, you doing that. Like that's what I don't like. If you feel like that's not just one day a week. Like if you're gonna carry those teachings, carry it. That should be how you live your life.
As soon as the words come out your mouth, you should be incorporating them into whatever you're doing.
But God know my heart though.
God know my heart.
You was over there just talking about Sister Jenkins' hat, and now you can't. Did you see her on Sunday,
girl?
But what's in your heart?
Right.
is malice at that point.
Right.
It's not even just the words. It's
So it doesn't
the
even
intent behind
count.
Yeah.
It erases
what
you
did on
just
Sunday,
did.
'cause
Right.
You know what?
You could have stayed home.
Exactly. You could have stayed
You could have
home.
stayed home. You know, wasted them people time.
Exactly. Because and I also feel like there's, let's not even get into like the tithing and stuff like that, where there's churches that'll be like,
They demand a certain
thing and they print out how much each person has given and they hand it out to the congregation. Like, that should be, I think that's between you
and God,
but they're saying like you're supposed to tithe in the Bible is a certain amount you're supposed to tithe.
Right.
Like, but
10%.
everyone's 10% is different. Like,
Correct.
you taking 10% from a person who's struggling right now.
Right.
And that 10% makes up a big difference in that household.
Right.
And so,
but the belief is
the
that
belief
is that
give,
you're
you give
right.
back.
The offering is for a greater good.
But
And you know, I
struggle with that because I struggle with that. If that tithing means you got to put food on your kid's table and you taking away money from your kids' mouth, like food from your kids' mouths, give to the church, and you go home you hungry.
I agree. I mean, I was involved in a church at a time, and I was a leader, so I was expected to give a certain amount every week, and you know, it was a lot.
Yeah.
You know, I no longer am on that path, but I do understand because at the time, it made sense. Like at the time, it was what I was supposed to be doing, and you really are into it. But you know, we talked about how we are more spiritual. So how do you? What do you do as a spiritual person to kind of, you know, develop?
Other pocket.
That's called the old switcheroo. That's not exactly.
Here's my 10%. Okay.
That's the old switcheroo. But no, what do you do? What do you do on a spiritual level to kind of support that ideology or that school of thought? Right. What do you do?
Because I'll say this now. I don't go to church. I will go to church. Like, I can honestly tell you, I'll sit in church. It depends. I like the small family churches. Like, I think those are cute. Like,
cute,
not cute, but like
those are more genuine.
Yes, that's what I feel like. I feel like those are more authentic. Now, please. No one come in the comments like,
right.
I'm living
I go to a megachurch.
And
there's 8,000 people in it.
Exactly.
And that's great.
And that's great.
That is great.
I love that for you.
I love that for you.
I love that. For me, because of how I am, also with just my personality, you got too many people around me. You know what I mean? Like,
so you don't want to go to a megachurch because you get
No, I feel like in a megachurch, I've been to a megachurch.
Right.
But let me rephrase also. In that time of my life, there was a megachurch in Brooklyn. Christian Cultural Center with Reverend A.R. Bernard, which I thought was an amazing church and still is. His teachings were phenomenal, the way that he led the sermons. And that was a mega church. Okay. He would come in, he wouldn't hoop and holler and scream. He'd be like, open your Bibles, let's turn to this. And he would teach. Like, it was like you're sitting there, you're learning, you're getting fed this word. And he's like, okay, close your Bibles. And he was such a soft-spoken person. Right. In a mega church, I still felt there was a connection. I feel less of a connection in a mega church. I've been to other mega churches. I'll just sit there and I'm like, oh, nice.
So it could be the person, the delivery.
I think also it's a delivery. I don't like to be yelled at. I don't like to be yelled at in life. Like, don't yell at me on a Sunday.
That's
like,
another topic.
That's another just don't yell at me in life. Don't yell at me in church either, because don't yell at me like that. I just don't like it. So talk to me. Right. You know, but
you need a more intimate.
Situation, I feel like,
which is why you're leading to a spirituality.
Than I am religious, because that is a more intimate. I'll go sit in my closet.
Right, so that's what you do to kind of develop that. I just sit in my closet and contemplate life.
Yeah, I'll light a candle. I'll light incense. I'll do whatever. I'll meditate. I'll do whatever. Pull cards. Whatever it is that I feel like I need to do. Journal. Whatever it is to connect myself or reconnect with myself. And I just, again, I don't have anything against mega churches at all. I don't. I do like the smaller intimate churches. Now I get invited to church. I can honestly tell you sometimes I feel out of place. And no, let me look at you. Look at the camera and I say this. No, not a heathen. I'm not devil. I'm not. That's not the reason why I don't go into the
Your
church.
skin ain't burning when you walk in.
Oh, you know what I mean? No, that's not what it is. I just could there be a point in my life where I get more into organized religion? Probably. You know, as a kid, I just again it was social because two of my best friends was going there. It was a smaller church. Shout out to Brown's Chapel. Um, that was a church that I went to. And Peaches, like her family, her grandfather was the pastor of that church. So then like her mom had a whole bunch of like brothers and sisters, all this. So it was like their cousins. So it was more of a family church. So I enjoyed going to that church. But again, as a kid, but two of my best friends was going. Right. Yeah, I get to spend more time with them, and I'll go. Was I really listening to?
Did you really hear the word? You was like, nah. But I don't know what I'm supposed to do with my life this week. Listen, but I got to see Peaches.
Man, I get to see Peaches and Kenitra. And we go to Sunday school, and we get to sing in a kids choir with matching skirts and white blouse. If it had to be like a green skirt or like a white blouse or something like that. Like my mom made the skirts for us and stuff like that. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, but I don't know. I just think.
So you do all those things, like you said, you meditate, you journal.
I do all that stuff.
Okay. I same. I mean, I feel like the connection that you kind of have with Source, because there is, I didn't just get here. Of course, I came here through a vehicle, my parents, but there is something bigger than me. There is something bigger than all of us.
Oh, yeah.
So I think the spirituality or the spiritual aspect of it is to just kind of connect with that source.
Yeah, it's whatever source is for you. Abba, Yahweh, whatever God, whatever that source is for you. I just hope that people have a genuine connection.
Right.
In whatever it is that you want. If it's going to church and you going to church and then but you coming out and you still feeling empty, then maybe that's not for you, but maybe you're still doing it because that's how you were raised and you don't want to break away from that and you don't know anything else. But I feel like maybe you should try, maybe a different religion. Like I don't know. Like Buddhists seem like they just so free flowing. I think Buddhism, they be like, listen, we just want you to be happy. You just go.
I gotta wear that sarong thing though. No, I know. Actually, one of my neighbors is a Buddhist, and
Buddhism, I think they just like the little elephant, the fat elephant thing. Like he be sitting there like this or whatever. He look chill as hell.
Like me when I be sitting.
I cannot, but like Buddhism in itself is just like peace and happiness, and it's not, from what I understand, like you're not required to do like this. You give, but in and of it all, it's just chill. Like maybe that's it, or maybe do I could look into being a Buddhist? I don't know, or was I just look into inward, into myself, and that's what I think I've been able to do today. I just want, again, anyone to be happy in whatever it is that they want to do, and be genuine in whatever it is they want to do. But just know that sometimes people's actions of a more organized structure can lead a person astray or make a person like, yeah, this is some old bull. Because these little things over here, like this is crazy.
Right.
I mean, just be happy. Just be happy.
I agree. I think across the board, I think the root of it all is just kind of love and like giving back and becoming a good steward of the world or of the environment.
Yeah.
Spirituality, you kind of get more in tune with nature and
yourself. Like yourself. It's yourself. And then so I think your question was in like that tithing part. When I was made a joke, I was like, no, I take from one pocket to the other. But I do give back to the community in other ways. Like, we've did stuff where, we made bags and stuff for the homeless people, like kind of like pass it out. If I see a homeless person and they'll tell you, I just be like, oh man, come, I very rarely carry money.
Me too, right.
And I feel bad. And I'm like, or there's times when I'm like, can I get you something to eat? Like I don't have, but I'm running in here. Can I get you some stuff?
Being a generous spirit, I think.
Yeah, and I just think being a good person, just be a good person. Like my motto is be a good person. Don't be an asshole today. Like, you know what I mean? Just be a good person. Whatever that looks like, just be a genuine good person. And I think, and I still use God, source, universe interchangeably. Yes, because
Right.
I understand that there is, again, a higher power. What that looks like to me is God, source, universe. It's
Right.
ominous presence that I understand that just wants me, at the end of the day, if you break down the Bible and its teachings, or really any religion, it should be, or any religion should be, to be a good person,
To love
to love,
others.
yeah, to others as you know, should love yourself, and then everybody. It's not, don't be selective in who you love. Like, love everybody,
Right.
and then just be genuine and be caring and giving to your like to your neighbors. Like, that's what the breakdown,
Right.
yeah, of every religion should be.
So,
Now,
do you think that society in general is moving away from conventional religion?
I think COVID
Moving.
changed a lot.
Say it again.
I think COVID changed a lot.
Absolutely.
I
I
mean,
agree.
it changed the way people connected, but then you started doing online
True.
church.
True.
Um, so I just, this is a question where I feel like society now, I look at society just from when we were kids up until now, and how much it has changed, and how much it's in disarray, and the hatred that's
Right.
spewed, and the, I don't like it. You know,
Like
yeah,
it. Right.
I don't like it. And is it because you'll have certain political parties that push their agenda, saying this is the only way, which is why there's so much upheaval, I feel like, right now. I feel like people should have their beliefs, and those beliefs are your beliefs. And if that's how you want to run your household, that's fine.
Right.
Please don't try to push your shit onto me. And that's where you get the butting of the heads and religious beliefs.
Right.
We don't believe that you should terminate a pregnancy. Over here, we don't believe that every life deserves a chance, blah, 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 blah. Over here, we believe, listen, she was, assaulted, and she's a young girl. Should she be forced to carry that child? And they're saying no, but now you want to push your beliefs over here to make that decision for her,
Her family.
in her family,
And her
and
life.
her life.
Because once
Yeah,
you're not going to be in her life
to raise that child,
to be in her
provide financial
life, to give
support,
the
to do
emotional
all of this
support.
stuff.
Right.
Exactly. Don't, if everyone just respected everyone else's beliefs, religious beliefs, and don't try to push your agenda, that's where you have a lot of butting of the heads. And I feel like this is why this country is the way that it is now, because everyone wants people to believe what it is that they want to believe.
Right. They want their own agenda to be pushed to the top.
Exactly, and that's not what it is.
Well, politics and religion, they don't. You can't mix the two,
They're
right?
not
They're not.
supposed to.
They're not
It's a
mixed, right?
separation of-
There's no.
it's supposed to be
There's
separation
separation of church and state. There's
That's a
no.
lie.
Okay.
It's a
I was being-
lie.
I was
We
being
all know.
facetious, right,
It's a-
right.
yeah, I know. Like, we all know that that's not the case. That's not
Right.
happening right now. And I just want, like,
But do you think people are moving? So you're saying people are moving away from the more conventional
I feel like
religion?
they are. I
Okay.
feel like they are. But then you got the far rights or the lefts. But I don't know, whichever it is, that are, like, really,
Staunch.
yeah, staunch on that, and it's just strict on this, and it's just like, is that what you need now? No, don't.
I think more people are moving. I don't know if it's more or if it's just more visible and more accepted. People are moving towards the spiritual aspect of, like, you know, being more spiritual, seeking more, going on
Inward.
retreats,
Oh,
and
yeah. I love a
the
good
candles and the crystals and
retreat.
the
Some good candles.
and some good
Incense.
crystals and
Yeah,
some
yeah,
good
yeah.
manifestations and all
Oh,
that.
yeah,
So I
yeah.
think people. I don't think that maybe it's not more. I have an aunt. Hope you're watching, auntie, but she's
Hey,
always
auntie.
been
Hey, auntie.
she's always been a spiritual person, and that wasn't really the norm growing up. So it was always like, oh,
She's different.
right, she's different.
Oh, she
Right.
ooh,
She's out there. Kind of she's out there. But
I
now
like
it's
those out there people.
right.
I ain't
But
gonna lie.
now that I'm more spiritual, we connect, and it's
You
like
see a difference.
exactly.
You see and you thinking she was on the sun.
She was, and I'm talking
Years ago,
about.
she was on the sun.
I'm talking about 50 years
What's
ago.
like people they was on to something, yo.
Right.
All those people they was on to something.
They
all
were.
of the hippies and stuff.
They were definitely
they
onto
was
something.
They was on to something. And it's just I got a question for you though.
Yes, ma'am.
What do you feel? How important of a role do you feel like religion and spirituality plays in a relationship? Like how can that make or break a relationship, or can you find like a even, you got one person who's religious and you got one person who's more spiritual? Do you think that they can coexist in a healthy relationship?
I think that's a great question. I think that, again, if you're starting and continuing with love, I think that both people can be able to kind of navigate through their beliefs, doing their own thing. Like, if I had a mate who was more spiritual and I'm more religious, babe, can you come to church with me this weekend, or this is going on?
This
Right. But I wouldn't be like forcing it on him. But you would have those conversations before you get into it, and be able to know how firm you are on your square about your beliefs. Now, if that person, it's like very into whatever it is they're into, and that's just not your thing, then don't leave that person alone and let them do their thing. Because again, I think that who you serve is your core. And I say who you serve, take that for what it's worth. Are you gonna impose those beliefs on you? Now, does my partner who's more spiritual, do they want me sitting outside in the grass, crisscross applesauce,
rounding,
right?
Take your socks off.
Which I love. Which I love.
Take your socks off.
Am I outside? Right. Am I outside? Am I outside balancing my chakras? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, you sitting there like this.
Exactly.
Like this.
Am I outside doing that? Namaste.
Like exactly.
What am I doing? Now, if that's not my thing, but I think that probably both sides can learn something from each other.
Yeah.
So I think that you have to know before you go into it. Now, what if you both are not really serious, and then you get into a relationship and you're into it, and then you both kind of develop that into the relationship? I think that, again, that's a workaround. Like, you can't force your stuff on the other person. So what about you? How important do you think it is?
It's, for me, just speaking from my standpoint, I can't speak from anyone else's standpoint. I can tell you right now.
Look,
I can tell you right now.
Focus.
Yeah. I need or require a person who understands that I don't need to go to church to feel whole, to feel fulfilled, to feel connected. Will I go? I'll compromise 4 Sundays out of the month. Probably going to give you 2.
Okay.
Give me back my other 2.
Right. Okay.
That's
fair.
But also, I think it has to play a part in how religious is that person. Like, if you I go to church, I'm cool. Monday through Saturday, we cool. Like, I cuss a little, I do this, I do that. You know what I mean? It's like that type of, like, again, a cool-ass religious person. Give me a cool-ass religious person. If you give me a person who is very strict and stern, and there's no
wavering.
There's no we're not gonna. That's not gonna work. Because they're going to be like, what is that? Oh, no, that's of the devil.
You said a bad word.
Exactly. Or what is this stuff? That's not going to work for me. I feel like
Right.
there has to be, there's a mutual respect. And again, for me, it can't be a person who's ultra religious that I'd be like, that's not going to work for me.
So again, pushing your stuff on the other person.
And like I would never push my stuff on people. Be like, yeah, go ahead and burn that. Go ahead and burn that Palo Santo. Go ahead and stuff some cinnamon and some
wash your hands. Wash your hands with
that
salt.
Some sea salt. Run it under the water. Say your affirmation, but turn the water off. You know what I mean? I would never push what I feel like. If they're not, I'm not comfortable with that because this is what it is. I would never push that on you. But at the same time, because I would never push it on you, I would also ask that you respect what it is I believe in. And I'm going to respect what it is that you believe in. But again, can't be ultra religious. I'd be like, trying to control. And that's a whole, like, I feel like that's a control thing to me. Like, sometimes we won't even talk about how religion was used to control. It's like,
that's another episode.
That's a whole other episode.
But in addition to what you're saying, kind of, do you believe in an afterlife?
Of course, I'm coming back. Please. When I come back, I want to come back with one of two things.
What?
I want to come back as a black woman's dog because they get treated bomb. Do you see that? Do you see they get the little outfits?
You're asking me? We both have dogs, so
like,
hello.
They get the little outfit. They get treated like I want to not how we treat ours, but I want to come back as the ones that be like cooking the
dressing them up,
dressing them up, brushing their teeth. They got the whole room with the TV in it. Like they got a wing of a house. Like that's what I want to back. Or I want to come back as a capybara. Because capybaras are so freaking cute to me. Capybaras just be like, they just get along with everybody. Riding up on the backs of alligators.
Them skinny little legs.
They are the cutest to me. That's I want to come back.
Okay.
I believe in the afterlife. I believe in the ethers, and I believe that there are spirits and that guide us. And do we talk about that now? The things that we've heard, the things that we've seen and felt. So that's how I know that there definitely is an afterlife because I've heard stuff like sitting in my room, minding my business, sitting on a bed, and I hear voices.
Right.
The first time that happened, freaked me out. Freaked me clear out. Actually, that wasn't the first time it happened because I thought back the first time it happened. I was like, oh, I did hear a voice. Oh. And then so that was
back to
I
when
thought
it
back
happened
to
before
when I was like, oh, was that just a thought in my head? No. Then when I thought back to it, clearly voices directing me. So some people might say, that was the Holy Spirit. It depends on how you look at it.
Right. Absolutely.
Some people might be like, that was the Holy Spirit telling you. And
Absolutely.
Other people might be like, oh, that was your spirit guide.
Again, it's whatever you believe in. It's going to take on the form and the shape of whatever it is that you believe in. And I think that that's important because if you look at Buddhism and the other religions, they're similar in the root.
Yeah.
So to say that a Buddhist and somebody that practice Hinduism, like they like to say that they're not the same is crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's based on the root that it's coming from.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean I think that those are important things. Believe in the afterlife. I believe in the afterlife too. Yeah. I think that we just don't pass away and then get buried and then that's it. And then I believe that there's a soul and a spirit inside of us, and we're just using this body for right now. Yeah. So once this old body gives up, as the old folks would say,
once this body,
good work, my good and faithful servant. Once this body gives up, my spirit is gonna continue on. Like I believe that my mom's spirit has continued on. Our mother's spirit So that's kind of how we know that
Your mom be like,
there's an afterlife.
the lights. I be like,
Yeah, my mother liked to play with lights all the
yeah.
time.
I was like,
I'm not even scared anymore. I'd be like, oh, Ma, go ahead.
can we talk about maybe like a couple more minutes? So the spirit realm.
Spirit realm. Okay.
Talk about the spirit realm and how, since our mothers have passed, how they showed up
Yeah.
and continue to show up in so many ways, and confirmations and times when we would be like, you better show up today. Next thing you know, you like your lights start flickering,
Right,
or
right.
something happened, or like a cardinal comes like right to your face. You're like, oh, damn
Yeah.
it,
Right.
because you asked for it. Like you really demanded that with all your heart and your soul because you miss them
Right.
so much. And the time, like when I was curled up in a fetal position in my bed on Mother's Day, I think it was 2020s. So it probably was the first Mother's Day. So that probably was Mother's Day 2021.
Right.
Yeah, so it was Mother's Day 2021 or 2022 because that was before I relocated.
I feel like it was 22.
Yeah, I feel like it might have been 2022 because the first
Yeah.
Mother's Day was like, that was terrible.
Yeah.
But
Made the Lord
I
open.
mean, every Mother's Day after that is terrible. But curled up in a ball on my bed, and I will never forget this. I thought Harley jumped on the bed behind me because I felt the bed go down, and I was like in the midst of
sobbing your life
exactly.
away.
I did this. There was nobody behind me. Like, and tell you, not kid you not, I felt, and all of a sudden, I felt this like on me, like a hug, like pressure, like a hug. I was like,
Right.
that's my mom. And like, I didn't, and I instantly was like,
Calm down.
I stopped because I remember sobbing and feeling so broken, laying there going, I just want, like, I need my mom. Doesn't even feel like Mother's Day right now. This is the
This
worst.
is terrible.
This is good and terrible.
This is good.
This is good and terrible. And I'm
Right.
laying there, and I just remember feeling her, and I wasn't scared. I didn't feel like, unhand me, like, who is this? I felt calm, like, instantly when it happened. And I just was like, that was my mom. But when I tell people that story, some people are like, yeah.
People don't believe.
Yeah, they don't believe because I
Right.
think their belief is once you're gone, and
Right.
you went to heaven or you went to hell. You're not even circling around
Anywhere in
being
between,
protected.
right?
Yeah. But for those that know, if you know, you know.
Right.
She was there, and I only can describe it as something very intimate. Yeah, and something very like, it was spiritual. It was just very
Calm and
it was a calming moment. But to feel it, I can't even describe how you're feeling a hug from a being that is no longer there.
Right.
But you feel it. And you feel the pressure on it. I was literally on the bed and I felt this like
pressure.
this pressure. But what got me was when the bed went down initially. I said, what the how to get you? Shit, she ain't even there.
Right.
And that's when I knew, but I instantly stopped. I instantly became like
At peace.
yeah. And like you've had instances like
Yeah, my
with
mother
your mom.
likes to show up in nature. Like
Yeah.
she was an animal person. I'm an animal person, so I feel like she shows up in nature. And after she passed away, I was outside the house and I was thinking about her and I was saying I missed her. And a dragonfly, that's why my thing is dragonflies. A dragonfly flew up to me and hovered right here,
Like I see you,
just in front of me.
You see me.
And I gasped because I was like, what is this? It hovered and it stayed there. It held my gaze. And I was like, and I immediately said, that's my mom.
Yeah.
and then it landed on a bush in front of my house, and it stayed there for like minutes, and I started crying because I knew that was her. And when I looked up the meaning for dragonflies, they talk about new beginnings and transformation, and that's what I was going through. I knew that was my mother. I don't care if anybody says, "Oh, it was dragonfly. He just flew in front of you." No, it didn't.
No, it's not.
That was my mama,
No, it's not.
and that's going to be my mama, and was, and
It
was my
is.
mama, and
It
is.
is.
So that's my symbol for my mother is dragonflies. I have a dragonfly tattoo. That's my mom. Whenever I see one, I know it's her. I'm like, "Hey, mom." But yeah, so I think that she shows up in other nature things like birds. Oh, it's a bird.
Come on now, like
a
the
bird.
birds,
Yeah.
Come on, like
one time I was like, "Mom, I just miss you so." I was sitting in the backyard saying, "I just miss you so much, Mom." The minute I said "Mom," the second I said "Mom," and a hawk
I remember you told me
flew into the opening in the trees. Where does hawk come from? And hawks are like kind of like a symbol of like your protection birds. It flew into sight as soon as I said, "I miss you, Mom." I said "Mom," and it flew right in. And I just felt like you said, I felt happy because I was like, she's always with me. So I didn't feel sad anymore. So it's like, we kind of have instances where, we kind of are tapped into the spirituality aspect. And do I know a verse or two, Bible verse or two? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I do. But am I more spiritual? Yes, I think that's where we're going with that. But so yeah, I think that if you just on a whole don't, just to recap, don't force your stuff on other people.
Yeah.
Let everybody love and practice the way they want to love and practice.
Be genuine.
Right. Be genuine.
Be authentic in wherever it is that you choose.
Right.
And again, don't be an asshole. Don't be an asshole in whatever religion it is that you do. Just don't be like that's a rule for society. If everyone wasn't an asshole, if people were just genuinely good, this world would be. If everyone, regardless of who believed in what, if everyone was just genuinely nice to people and cared and considerate, we'd be in a better place. Like, it's just I just feel like just be genuine and whatever it is that you want to believe. If it's a structured religion or if it's a spiritual connection that you have with source, God, universe, however it is that whatever it is that you're connecting.
Right.
Just be genuine and be authentic and just be yourself and just that's it.
I agree.
That's it. That's all we got for today. So we're gonna ask you to again comment, like, subscribe, share as much as you can, and let us know in the comments. Do you feel like you're more religious? Do you feel like you're more spiritual? What are some instances where you felt like you've connected? With people who have had people who crossed over. Like, how have you connected? Like, what signs have been shown to you? Things that have been put in front of you. Because they're there always. That's another thing.
They are always there.
Always look out for the signs for people who have loved ones who have passed away because they're always there. And I feel like when you're open to it, you see it. But if you close yourself off to it, you miss so many opportunities to connect
kind of
with them.
connect. Yeah, I agree.
So, thank you for joining us as we rambled on about life and our experiences.
But that's what we do.
Yeah, that's what we do. We just sit here and we just have a conversation,
right?
Shoot the shit and call it a day.
All day.
Thank you so much.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.